It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on the Mayor's Report. We do many reports. The Mayor's Report in Pottsville, where I am today with Mayor Clews. We do the Hazleton Mayor, Mayor Jeff Gassett. We do the Hazleton Area School District Report. We do Luzerne County Community College Report. We're going to be doing a Luzerne County Report and visit the Luzerne County Report. These reports are to keep you updated on what's happening in different areas. And my good friend Dave, how are you?
Doing well, Sam.
How's your health?
I'm trying to behave and keep myself healthy and, keep up with the grandkids.
The idea is don't get old.
That's it.
You just stay the way you are. So a lot of things happen this summer. I always look forward, to the fall, but I don't like the cold weather coming in. So, but then every year every season you should appreciate, which I will do. I know you didn't want to hear that, but I just thought I'd tell you that. Tell me about. I have a couple questions. People have asked me when I'm at Vito's Coal Fire Pizza restaurant having a wonderful dinner or at the La Casa Dolce in Tamaqua. Some people say, Sam, how is Pottsville? How is the condition of Pottsville? Is it growing? Is it you hear about cities that are deteriorating, etc. So as a mayor, if you went to speak, to maybe in Philadelphia or a UNICO or a Rotary Club, what would you tell people about the city of Pottsville?
We're still in a very positive mode moving forward. Really happy. I'm going to be doing a ribbon cutting this weekend or this Friday. Actually, the Eagle Tavern opened on East Norwegian Street. Tribute to the old Eagle brand of beer for Yuengling Brewery. Tied it into some history. Very nice establishment. Had been there for years under other names. And this gentleman that has come to town has jumped right in. He's active. He's got some plans. It's funny you bring that up. He's actually teamed with a professor from Penn State. They are planning a 3-day film festival for next May. So talk about your new business coming in and wanting to be a part of a community. Real great having him here. Lazarus is his name. Great guy. I happened to met him at a volunteer fireman's honoring event one evening about a year ago. Told us he was coming to town. Great guy. Great kind of sports bar menu. Nothing over the top, Very nice setup. And like I said, he's jumped right into the community. Right across the street from him, the Chamber of Commerce just did what they called Schuylkill Ignite, an entrepreneur program like we did launch Pottsville. Well, they did one county-wide, and I'm proud to say that the winners are from here in Pottsville. The farm store, it was the winner of $100 and some odd thousand through their program they put together. So that's going to address the food desert, as they call it, in downtown Pottsville. They'll be doing meats, cheeses, produce, pre-made salads, milk, the things that people need from a grocery store right in downtown. So we're happy to see that happening. We're in the middle of the final times to sign up for what's called Launch Pottsville 2, which is designated more towards arts type of things. We have pottery and a gallery interested in opening that are going to be going through the program there. We have a really viable and very interested party in a boutique hotel in the old Miners Bank or Santander Bank. So we have a lot of happening things going on that are new and exciting to see, and the things that we have continued to do well in the past.
How's the crime situation?
I think we're pretty fortunate. I don't think we're a really high crime area. It's definitely changed. I mean, I'm born and raised here in Pottsville. So I remember, it was nothing to leave the house and leave your front door
Yeah,
open.
yeah.
A lot of us
Yeah.
out of our generation grew up that way. Is it that way in Pottsville anymore? No, it's definitely not. The ethnicity of town has changed. A lot of people have moved here from different areas. So, our crime rate's a little different, but I think we still have it under control. I'm very proud of our police force. We just hired another officer, and we have 3 that are on the horizon that are doing testing, which will start to get us back to where we were. We've been shorthanded, and we know it. But we've been doing a lot of things to recruit, to keep the officers we have. I just met with our chief this morning. I meet with him probably 3 mornings a week, hear what's going on, what's out there on the horizon for us, and I usually report, the things I got. People call me and let me know about situations, and I try and refer them on and get things taken care of. I don't consider ourselves a high crime area, but it has changed, and of course, like a lot of communities now too, we're seeing an influx of homeless people.
I want to ask you that question. I'm interviewing Michaela Cathio, who's running for state legislator in the 118 district up there at Pitts in that area. And one of the shows we did, she had mentioned, she lives in Old Boston, she had mentioned that they dropped off a bus of immigrants in Old Boston, and they just, went through the town, and there was robberies and a whole bit, okay? And so, we sometimes say, well, we're not concerned about, maybe we are concerned, but not that much about people coming in illegally. And this is not a political thing, this is just reality. And then they're shipping them different places, okay? Has that anything happened here in Pottsville? Are you monitoring certain things? I mean, I'm sure the chief gets, information of what's happening.
As a matter of fact, coincidentally, this morning we were talking about, I got a phone call that there were some homeless people occupying a property that's up for sale, and had the chief and code officers go out to, check the situation out. And turns out it was 3 couples. 2 were homeless and have been homeless in the area for some time. When they closed an encampment out that was a little south of here, some came up our way, some went south towards Haven and Orgesburg. This particular couple came towards Pottsville. The other couple that was with them, though, was from New York. Ended up here in Pottsville. So, we know we're seeing an influx that are most likely those that have been bussed out of other bigger cities into smaller communities. And now it trickles down to, the Pottsvilles, the Pittstons, the old Bostons, things like that, the smaller towns. We see it on the news, buses pulling into New York City, Chicago, and so on. And then, they're hustling them out somewhere too, and the next smaller community. So we see it. It's heartbreaking. It's more in the case of Pottsville, the county has those type of resources. We don't. We've never had to had that in a budget. It's a real difficult situation.
And those kind of things turn into, it all depends. You can't monitor who's coming in. You don't know who they are or what's happening. And, you hear the story every day. It's like every day you hear the story about illegals coming in and a whole bit, and you think it doesn't affect them. Could you imagine? We had a sheriff on from Arizona, a very popular person. He's been on Fox, CNN, Dr. Moylan brought him on my show, and he says, Sammy, if you only lived there, and he lives there, and if you would only see what's coming into this country, he said, and it's not only affecting us, but it's eventually going to affect, your town of Hazleton, your town of Wilkes-Barre and Scranton. And so my question, Dave, as a mayor, okay, what do you do? I mean, like, how severe does something have to get before you say we we really should be addressing these things. And I know people think I'm becoming political here, but I'm not. I'm looking at the safety of my grandchildren, my wife, your grandchildren. It's sad.
It really is, and it's challenging for smaller all towns. I mean, I don't care if you're Philadelphia and Chicago. I'm sure they have a budget too. They have to operate within, and so do we. And as much as we all want to be good Christians and care, it's also some undesirable people coming into communities that now, one way or the other, either whether it's a cost to a police department,
big time,
our
healthcare,
yeah, our code officers, having to get out and do things, and it's all things that we really haven't budgetarily planned for because we've never seen it before. It's not something we've done or been involved with. We're fortunate we have some great rehab places here, but they have limitations on what they can do and handle. And then most of these people are coming in and they're undocumented. We don't know they're here until, in some cases, you could say it's too late,
exactly.
Or it's become a bigger problem.
I just pray that something's done about it. It just Sarah. But otherwise, I don't want to be being bad news here. But this reality, as a mayor, taking care of a town, you see all these things. Okay, now let's talk about the doggies. Okay,
yeah.
They went swimming. I understand. They had a good time. My dog couldn't make it. He's very upset with me. Didn't talk to me for 2 days. Didn't eat. He said, "You didn't take me to the doggy swim." Tell me what happened there. Were you there?
I haven't missed it since I got on city council and been mayor.
Tell our viewers what we're talking about.
Well, every year when we close our public pool up, the last day that it is open at all, we have a doggy pool day. So you're welcome to bring your dog out to the pool. They get in, they swim, they chase frisbees, balls. It's really fun to watch, all these dogs.
Did you take any video for me?
I didn't.
Sammy, we're firing him. We're going to fire this guy.
It's great to watch. They do a top dog contest where people, submit pictures of their dog and people vote for them. So it's a great way to close the pool up.
Yeah.
We had a great year at our pool. Our attendance was up this year. We had a great staff out there, and we've had every year. We hire high school kids to, work, and college kids that are our lifeguards and work the concession stand. And this year we've had an exceptional team. Nora Lee has put together a great group out there. This year, we've had the adaptive swim program for, people in wheelchairs and so on that are challenged. We have a special instructor for that. This year we actually started doing teaching adults to swim. It's surprising how many, adults don't know how to swim. So we started doing that this year.
Right here.
They have a senior swim program during the day. So,
They say if you throw yourself into the pool, you'll learn how to swim real fast. I don't want to learn that way. Yeah, that's what they say. Because that's a funny thing. I can't swim, but you put flippers on me, I can swim like a fish. Isn't that up here? I mean,
probably.
Yeah, I'm a little something.
Yeah,
Before we go to break, how many dogs did you have? All kind of dogs, right?
Oh, all kinds of dogs, big, small. I couldn't tell you.
And they all get along.
They all get along. As long as I've been going out to this, that's the one thing that surprised me the most is how these dogs, something you would look at, everybody looks at a pit bull or a German Shepherd, some dogs just being aggressive. And on this day, they're all playing,
That's so nice.
It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, that's good. I'm talking to Dave Clews, my friend. It's the Mayor's Report. As you know, I mentioned in the beginning of the show, a lot of reports. And I appreciate the fact that when you come, you see my wife and I, come up and say, Sam, I didn't know this about Pottsville or Schuylkill County or Luzerne County. And that's the reason why we have these reports to fill you what's going on. Come back, we'll learn a lot more about what happened here in Pottsville and what's going to happen. We'll be back right after this. Well, welcome back to the Mayor's Report. I'm here in Pottsville, Pennsylvania, with Mayor Dave Clews. We're talking about what happened in Pottsville and a number of things that happened that affect the entire area. And once again, ssptv.com, my friends, you'll see all of the shows we produce, all local neighborhood programming. And thank you for making the Sam Lesante Show the #1 talk show in Northeastern Pennsylvania. I appreciate it very much. David, we're looking at how you got lucked out this year with the car cruise. I was a little nervous about the rain, but it turned out to be a beautiful day.
Beautiful day, perfect weather. It wasn't too hot. The sun was shining. They had a really great turnout. Dukes of Hazzard was there again. Tom Wopak came
How'd that
up.
turn out?
Very well. The other group that was with him was actually, I guess, what you would call the second generation. That was, supposed to be the sons of, all the guys from that show, and they were there. They had a great time going around meeting people. They walked up and down with the car owners. We had a guy come down from New York. There's 14 original cars left. He owns one of them that was from the show, I mean, complete with dents and scratches. And we also had a beautiful, custom-built one on display. But the guy from New York said, we don't care if you lean on it, lay on it, whatever, because it was run hard and,
Yeah, sure.
So that was another attraction for the day. The firehouse benefited very well from it. Just another terrific day.
Yeah, it's a fun day. It's a day that you come out, relax, and I was very happy because I set a special prayer to my special guardian angel to make sure you had a good day. So he came through with that. How about I talk about this all the time. When I was downtown Hazleton with my retail store with Johnny Morato, parking was always an issue, and we talked about this. Other than, you have a parking garage here, right?
Mm-hmm, okay. Too. Our parking is, it's enforced 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Saturdays are free, Sundays of course are. After 5 o'clock is free, so, coming downtown to grab something to eat, you don't have to worry about slugging a meter or the app. That's the wave of technology today. Most towns are getting away from meters, going to apps. Not everybody's comfortable with it, and we understand that, but that's today's world, too.
Yeah, if I only could learn how to use my cell phone, instead of my grandchildren teaching me.
You also can't play those 8 tracks in your car anymore.
Oh,
either,
come on.
Technology.
Yeah, I remember the old age. You remember, you're 12-year-old Dave, I remember those. Then you get one out. You remember you had like a stack of them.
Oh, yeah, you carried a briefcase
I want
full.
Dean Martin, I want, What's happening and what's going on now? What's the future look like here?
Well, we're out there paving streets. We had trouble getting asphalt early in the season, so they're out doing that. We just, right before school, had to get all the crosswalks redone and painted, keep our kids safe when they're crossing on their way. We have coming up, this is something we've been doing in Pottsville for a long time. Our fire department provides free smoke detectors. And Thursday, September 12th, from 5 to 8:30, the fire department, if you get in touch with Chief Mystician here at City Hall, they will come out to your house. They will install them. This is free. This is no charge.
Wow.
So if your house, requires 2, and they'll come out and
put them on,
install them, put them in the optimum place for you.
That's great.
All no charge. I talked to the chief this morning. It's been an ongoing several-year program. They have installed over 3,000 smoke detectors in Pottsville.
Yeah. And what he's talking about, you want to watch an upcoming show with the girls. We have Chief Leschko from Hazleton on, and he talks about different things about, particularly if you have any children going to college, but different interesting things about your house. When there's a fire, it's very, very informative. I'm sure your chief does the same thing, but you talked about that. That is great that they actually will go to the home and put them in, because sometimes people
call right here to City Hall at 570-622-1234. Ask for Chief Mystician, and and get you on the list.
If I call them and say, look, I'm a friend of the mayor's, could you bring one up to my house in Cunningham? Will they do that? Do they travel?
Well, he'll say you started wrong by saying you were friends of the mayor.
Listen, I hate the mayor. I don't think he's doing a good job. You think you can install a... I think that's great, Dave.
You know, it's something we can really be proud of here.
Yeah.
We already know a couple, you know, what was it, 2 years ago that we know it saved lives in the housing project that we had put them in. You know, where they heard the smoke detector go off and were able to, you know, get out safely. The girl actually in the house who was elementary school age remembered our chief being in their school and teaching them to, you know, if you feel a door and it's warm, don't go that way.
Yeah.
You know, she remembered all those things that the chief taught her in one of those classes. And again, you know, there were smoke detectors throughout the home, so we know it saves lives.
That's great. What else is happening?
Well, you know, besides that, I already told you, well, we have Oktoberfest coming up Saturday the 14th. That'll be down at the Union Station along with our Pottsville Market. So doing that a little different this year.
What goes on that day?
Well, there'll be live music, of course, a beer garden, the associated type of food that you would, you know, think of with Oktoberfest, and then a whole bunch of crafters. So, you know, just a way to welcome the season. I told you we have a new event that these new owners are planning for, that's May of next year. October 29th is our buddy Jerry's favorite Lions Club Halloween parade. So, you know, they have that coming up.
Does Jerry come dressed now? Or does he come dressed as Jerry Enders?
Well,
it scares everybody.
It scares everybody,
yeah.
So we have that. Safe Trick or Treat night will be coming up. I don't know if they've completed the date for that, but it's usually around the same time. And the city typically does, at least we have traditionally, done Halloween on Halloween.
The city doing okay financially?
As far as I know, yeah, no, we're doing okay. You know, it's budget time. Yeah. We're also, it's the time of year where we're negotiating our police contract. That's been going along rather smoothly. And then budget time is just that, budget time. You know, there's never enough. You never want to increase them. We've been fortunate for the last 2 or 3 years we didn't increase taxes.
Yeah. The problem, Dave, is inflation hits everything. Cost of living goes across the board. So when people think about inflation, well, it's not only going to the grocery store or get your energy, but it's across the board. So these people who are on a certain income now need to make 10, 15% more just to break even. And it's a tough one because you're dealing with budgets, you're dealing with human beings, and you know, it's like you don't want to raise taxes, but in the same token, you need the services. It's a tough task. I mean, I admire you guys going through those budget meetings.
It really is. You know, when people come to me and, you know, I always use, you know, there's a pothole here, you know, there's this happening there, and I always say, listen, you know, we would love to, and I don't think there's a mayor would disagree with me, who would love to say this year we're going to pave everything in town, you know, but that costs money. You know, every time you're asking for a service, it costs money. And I'd be more than happy, and I always tell people, listen, I'll be more than happy to solve your problem if you don't mind me raising your taxes accordingly to solve it.
And you're not being smart about it.
No, and I don't mean that in a smart way, but that, you know, that's business. That's how this works. There's just so many dollars.
Yeah, God forbid you should bring good business sense into this. Listen, it's always a pleasure. Time goes by real fast. If you need any information, if you want me to ask the mayor any questions here in Pottsville, sam@ssptv.com. And of course, if you want me to ask Jeff Cassat, who is the mayor of Hazleton, it's sam@ssptv.com. Time goes by very quickly. It's nice seeing you again. Okay?
Always a pleasure, Sam.
We'll see you next time.